If you love matcha, it is time to start saving money by making your hot matcha green tea latte at home. Especially during the winter season, I would suspect that you would probably wish to have matcha green tea latte hot. So I am going to show you 3 different ways depending on what tool or gadget you have at home. Stay tuned until the end of this video clip. Before that, click that subscribe button. I'm going to show you 3 different methods. One is using a handheld milk frother like this one. Another is if you have this type of milk frother, which is very common. It's not necessarily that everyone has this at home, but for you that have this, then I would say use this. And finally, using the Matcha Whisk. What we need would be milk of choice, any milk of choice. We need our matcha. I'm using my blend here, which is 100% pure matcha. If you are using the one with the latte mix or sweetened, then this is not the same recipe, okay? And then we're going to use a sweetener. Again, the choice is yours. You can use sugar, you can use sugar syrup, vanilla syrup, hazelnut syrup. Today, I am going to use my honey, which is flavored as well. It is lychee honey. So we are going to make them in regular cups. This is an 8-ounce cup, and I'm going to show you this in clear glass so you can have some idea how it looks like when it is finished. So whilst I was talking, I'm warming my milk because this is going to be hot. We need hot milk. Now, how do you make hot milk? Very simple. All you have to do is to put the milk in your microwave, or you can put it in a pot, but make sure you don't boil it. Just make sure that it is warm enough to make your drink. So I am using here an electric hot plate and a stainless steel pitcher. So the moment I see steam on the surface of my milk, I am going to start making my hot matcha green tea latte. Okay, let's start the first one, which is using my handheld milk frother. So I'm going to put just a tiny bit of milk. And to this I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of my pure matcha. Do not fill it to the top. Make sure you put only very little milk at the beginning. And then now we're going to froth. So as you can see, it is not completely dissolved because matcha are not really powder as such. They are ground leaves. So I would suggest that you use a spoon to make sure that you still combine all of them together. And then you can fill it to the top with milk. So now once you have completely filled up your cup, you can add your sweetener. So I'm going to add some of my honey lychee here, and then make sure that you stir once again to combine the lychee with the milk and the matcha. And look at that texture. It is looking rather good. So this is your hot matcha green tea latte using a handheld electric milk frother. The next method, I'm going to use an electric milk frother, which comes in a pot like this. So this is very easy to use. All you have to do is to put everything in here. Although they recommend not to put powder, I would suggest that you do it anyway. Quite easy to use. All you have to do is to put your milk. This is 180 ml of milk, so it should be just above the minimum level and doesn't have to go all the way to the top. And then I'm going to add my 1 teaspoon of matcha into this one. So just there. And now to start this, it has got 3 modes. The first mode is just to make a cappuccino like, which is a lot of foam, and the second mode is more like flat white. I prefer to use flat white, so I'm going to keep pressing this until it blinks red blinking light, and it takes about 2 minutes and it will automatically stop. And there you go, hot matcha green tea latte. Very smooth hot matcha green tea latte. And if you'd like to add some sweetener, which I do like to add, I'm going to add some of my honey lychee syrup, and then Just to make sure it's well combined, stir. You look at that beautiful texture. Hot matcha green tea latte using a milk frother. And the final one is using a matcha whisk. So if you are lucky and you have a matcha whisk and a matcha bowl, then use this method. 1 teaspoon of my matcha powder. The ceremonial matcha requires that you sift your matcha with a strainer, but because I'm making this as simple as possible, I'm not even sifting it. Into this, I'm going to add some of the milk, not all of them. Okay, and then we are going to whisk our matcha. As you can see, if you don't use a strainer to sift your matcha, you'll get a quite lumpy matcha here, so you need to really make sure that it is fully dissolved. Okay, this is not the proper ceremonial way because I'm making it easy enough for you to do it at home without so many gadgets that you require. If you can still see some powdery matcha there, make sure that you keep going until everything is fully dissolved. I can still see some of them there. Okay, so just keep whisking. So just very lightly, and you have that beautiful bubbly matcha. Okay, now because you'd like everything to be incorporated together, I would suggest that you add the rest of the milk. Okay, there, and whisk together. At this point, I'm going to add my sweetener, honey lychee, and then whisk it some more to mix the honey with the matcha. And just to make sure you don't have the big bubbles on top, whisk just the surface of your matcha. And this is hot matcha green tea latte using the Matcha Whisk. So all three are quite different in texture, but I'm sure the taste will be equally good. Okay, this is the first one where I used my milk frother, handheld milk frother. This one, I love the taste of that honey lychee. Okay, and this one is using my milk frother here, which makes it really, really creamy. There's too much cream on top, too much froth on top. So the taste is the same for sure. And finally, using my ceremonial way, which is using the Matcha Whisk, I would suggest that you sift your matcha before you use it. But as I have said, I'm trying not to make it too complicated, as easy as possible for those that want to do this at home. Somehow this one is sweeter than the other two, but maybe it's because I put more honey lychee in this one than this two. There you go. So yes, go ahead and start saving money by making your hot matcha green tea latte at home. Take your pick. Any of these methods will be good enough to make them at home. I'll see you again for more of these video clips. If you'd like to know the commercial recipe, check out my book, All Things Milk Tea. I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Ciao for now.